I think I'm losing my mind, trying to stay inside the lines. It's like you're running in place. Yeah. How you keep staying the same.
All right, I'm back. So we got our sweet potatoes. They're purple and they are boiled. I haven't done anything to them. Just mashed. They smell really sweet, like not like your normal regular sweet potato. We got our eggs, 6 eggs, room temperature, 1 tablespoon of vanilla. 6 eggs, room temperature, 1 tablespoon of vanilla. I got my sugar, 1 3/4 cup of white sugar. I added a little brown sugar. I also got my pan ready, and I did add a little brown sugar to the bottom of my pan. If I had turbinado sugar, I would have put the turbinado sugar all the way around. But I just want the bottom to be sugared. So you want to either butter your bun pan, that's what I'm using, and then you want to put flour in there, okay? And take off that excess flour, throw it away. That's just to make sure your cake doesn't stick. It helps it when it bakes to release from the pan, okay? Which is what you want it to do when it cools off. The sugar is gonna add just a little bit of a different effect. It's a sugared bottom, butter cake, half-pound cake, half cheesecake on the top with sweet potato mixed in. It's a purple sweet potato. It's gonna color it. Sauce gonna color the cream cheese, and it's gonna give it a little flavor. I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, but I am excited. All right, first things first, we're gonna go ahead and cream in this butter with the sugar. Cream your butter and your sugar for 5 minutes. 5 minutes in your mixer. I'm using a KitchenAid Cuisinart Pro. I'm using a Cuisinart Pro. I'm gonna start it out on speed 2. Crank it up a bit. Make sure all of your ingredients are room temp. I like to paddle my butter a little bit first before I add in that sugar. All right, go ahead and add in your sugar. Sugar going in. Okay, you do want to go ahead and scrape your sides. Scrape, scrape. Get your paddle. All right, so I need 2 3/4 cup worth of flour. I'm going to be using cake flour, and then 1 egg at a time. 1 egg at a time. Yes, it does take longer, but that is the best way to do it. Six eggs. May not drop them all in there at once or separate it, but hey, it works. I got 1 more egg to drop in. And this last drop, I dropped 2. So I want to just crank that up a little bit. I'm gonna scrape my sides before I drop in that last and final egg. Crank it up. Let it mix very, very well. Okay, adding in the last egg on a higher speed and the rest of that vanilla. Your rubber spatula. Try to get all of your product out of the bowl into the main bowl. Dropping in baking powder and salt on low speed, and I'm almost sprinkling it in there. Third cup worth of buttermilk, you need a half. We got 2 3/4 cups worth of cake flour, Swan's cake flour, and I'm gonna add in the buttermilk, add in the flour, and keep doing that until I get through it. Adding in our buttermilk, adding in some flour. Adding in some more buttermilk, and I'm going to turn it up just a notch. Adding in more flour. More buttermilk. Another 1/3 cup worth of buttermilk. That gives you a half. 2 1/3 cups of liquid will give you a half. Okay, adding in the rest of this flour. Buttermilk. Flour, buttermilk. I like to end with the wet ingredient, not the dry. Alright, so adding in our buttermilk, adding in some flour, adding in some more buttermilk, and I'm going to turn it up just a notch. Adding in more flour. Buttermilk, another 1/3 cup worth of buttermilk. That gives you a half. 2 1/3 cups of liquid will give you a half. Okay, adding in the rest of this flour, buttermilk, flour, buttermilk. I like to end with the wet ingredient, not the dry. Okay, I'm gonna turn it off, scrape it. We're gonna add in our sweet potato. Now the first thing I wanna do with the sweet potato is I do wanna mix that because I wanna get it smooth. I wanna check it for strings, you know, all that good stuff. So the texture you're looking for on your cake mix should basically look like this. It's soft looking. You can tell it's mixed well. You can tell it's fluffy. So all of those things. Now I'm gonna go get us another mixer bowl and we're gonna mix our sweet potatoes. You don't have to really do anything to them to mash them. They boil until they're basically mashed. Okay, so put that inside of your mixer bowl, sweet potato mix. So, I don't know how much I want to use. Let's see. Let me get a measuring cup. Start out with a cup. I'm gonna drop this into our cake mix. Drop that into your cake mix. Just drop that on in there. Bam. You know, when y'all get back to school, we definitely gotta make them sweet potato biscuits I made the other day. When I said they were so good. They have the same structure of a Cheddar Bay biscuit from Red Lobster, but they don't fall apart or anything like that. I just really love them. Pop that back down. Handy dandy dust out the way. And crank her up. Alright, now I'm gonna turn it off slowly, one notch at a time. Touch that bottom lip. We got our pan right here, handy dandy pan, and I want to just pour that off in there. Woo! I like to pour it off all the way around the cake pan, and like you're almost like you're layering it. So I'm gonna heat up this cream cheese a little bit. Get it softened using that good old Sprouts, that Sprouts cream cheese. When I say that mess burn. Alright, drop that off in there. Try to get most of it to the bottom of the bowl. We want to, on the table, okay, we want it to be even. Make sure you get that centerpiece where the bundt pan is and try to wipe that. It will bake like that, and it sometimes makes it a little bit more difficult to remove the cake. Even if you want to take it a step further, just to be on the safe side, look. Just spray that middle piece, okay? Gonna add a 1/3 cup worth of sugar in there. It's a 1/3 cup. A tablespoon worth of vanilla powder into this. Savory Spice, their wonderful vanilla powder, Madagascar. Take some brown sugar. I'm not even gonna do a full 1/3 cup. Brown sugar adds like almost like adding like molasses to your food. I don't know, it just tastes better. Everything I bake with, I do half brown sugar, half white typically. All right, so just that much, just barely any in that cup. All right, now I'm gonna crank it up. Okay, I'm gonna add in 1 egg. Okay, scrape it again. Then I like to add in a little bit of melted butter. This is a whole stick, but I'm not putting the whole stick in there, just what's melted. Okay, crank it up. All right, so what's gonna do is gonna bake off into this pound cake. You take the cream cheese, and because you can't really smooth it once it goes on, you want to get it as even as you can on the very top layer. Take it, barely touches the cake. Move your spatula around it. Hey y'all, this is a butter cake. A little bit of a more strenuous process, but the reward is amazing. So we're back, and we are making a sweet potato pie using purple sweet potatoes with cream cheese from a cheesecake we made swirled into that pie. Okay, drop it in the sugar. And drop in some butter. The great thing about sweet potatoes, really no particular order that you have to put it in there. That's why I love them. That's why I love making pies. All right, so we got that in there. I'm gonna add a little bit of cream. Just a 1/3 cup. I'm gonna add in 1 egg. Got 1 shell stuck to my egg here. Y'all ever drop a shell in your food and just said, you know what, forget it. I'm just gonna feed that person that egg. Holy wholesome pie shells. Gotta love them. Ooh, look at that though. That's that cinnamon roll glaze right there. Boy. Powdered sugar, heavy cream.